What does it take to have a lot of money? Have you ever asked yourself? Because God gave us a wisdom to get whatever we want in life. Even the Bible says it. Ensi n'okujjula kwayo byonna bya Mukama. The world is full of your things, but are you trying to get to know how you are going to get them? So what does it take to be rich? I'm not yet there, but at least I know before I die, I will be there. Being rich is not just a word that I'm rich. You want to be rich in what? That's where our dream starts from. Being rich, you have to love God. Get his richness. Get his wisdom, because we learn all the wisdom comes from God. There's nothing that we do that he's not involved. He has to get involved. Then he will give you the wisdom to know how to get rich. You want that beautiful house he was talking about. Actually, that is not my dream house, because we planned that house. I'm always the one planning for the houses that we have built. I first make a plan for it, put it on manila paper, then I give to the actor to do the job, because I know what I want. By then, we still had our small children. I wanted every child to have a room in that house. Those are 5 rooms. I wanted a bedroom, which was bigger than even the sitting room. Then the bathroom side would have jacuzzi, shower, toilet, shavers, all those things. Then I wanted the room, which is a walk-in closet. Almost the whole floor was mine and my husband. Then I wanted a room, a big room for the visitors. I wanted a prayer room. So when you calculate, the whole house is about 10 bedrooms only. So later on, I changed it. I said, now that children are grown, I can't keep that house to be my dream house, because none of them wants to come and sleep there. They have their own places. So I had to redo the plan by putting a bathroom in each and every room. So we have 10 rooms, which can turn out to be a guest house. Okay? Mm-hmm. So what is your dream? You want a good vehicle? You want a good house? You want your children to go to the best schools? My children, I think, went to the best schools, because by the time they reached that age of going to the secondary school, they went to SMAC, they went to Budo. All my children, except one who had gone to Immaculate Heart. By that time, we had some job in America. We went there, and she went to an international school, and that is history. So do you want your children to go to the best schools? What are you doing about it? I know if I can ask Justus how much he pays at Kampala parents, I don't think it is below 2 million. How much money are you planning to earn? So to go back to what it takes to be rich, it takes a dream. It takes patience. It takes belief. It takes money. It takes selflessness. You forfeit that big sleep 8 hours. Why should you sleep for 8 hours when you don't have money? When you are sick, when your mother is cooking now and then, and you can't help. When your brothers are at home sitting because they lack school fees, how do you sleep on an empty stomach? For God's sake, when you look at Uganda, sometimes I walk from my hostel to Chikubo. That's where my bank is, my branch, Centenary Bank. I decided to walk because doing exercise is part of diet. So I find men, able-bodied men on this matter too. They have made a round table like this one. And they are on matter two. Matter two, I feel, when they are doing it, the money they have goes around them. There is nothing they are producing unless they are stealing. It takes your time to be rich. It takes your mindset. As he said, what is 1 million to you? If you gave me 1 million every day, I would spend it every day and it wouldn't even be enough. So is it your dream? That's where you want to build your house from? That's where you want to buy your vehicle from? The vehicle I'm driving is a Land Cruiser, but it's not the one I want. I want a better one, and it costs 400 million. So if I want such a vehicle, do I think of earning 1 million? I can't. I want to earn 100 million every single month. If I'm earning 50 million today, it's not enough for me. At least if I could see 100 million, that's how big my mind is. How big is your mind? So it takes your mindset to get what you want. It takes your attitude. What is your attitude towards people around you? Do you have a loving heart? Or you have a jealous heart that when you see your friend taking steps, you feel bad? You should feel good because God will bless you through those people who are taking steps because they are your friends and you associate with them. Do you want to associate with the poor people? Who wants to associate with poor people? I don't think there is any. And do you feel shy? Do you feel you are not fit to be in that group? That is a wrong attitude. When I'm associating with people who are above me, I feel good. They have told you about my the president's team members that are in my team. I know all of them how much they earn because I'm the one who receives their records of how they earn. How many people do you have in your team that are earning so that when you look at them, you feel good? Thank you for having made me start this business because at least I put a smile on someone's face. At least I helped someone to look after his or her mother. I always talk about this lady, Grace Rubambe. When you listen to her story, you feel good. When I listen to her story, I feel good. She was the first person that I sponsored, and she took the message to all those people. And actually, she took it to one main person, Dora Juma. And she took it everywhere. The whole of Tanzania knows Lydia Musinguzi. Where would I have found those people? How would my name go to Tanzania? So, your job now is to change your mindset, to change your attitude if you are not yet there. Because there is no way you are going to attain those riches if you remain the way you are today. If you don't change, nothing will change for you. If you are earning 100,000 and you still talk to the same people, you still wake up at 7 because you want to finish your sleep, you still go out without breakfast, good breakfast, you still don't know how your body operates, because I believe you are the first doctor to yourself. And we are lucky. Your life has all the information that teach us how to know how to be our own doctors. There is no way you are going to be rich if you still feel sick. You have to change the way you eat. You have to change your diet. I'm not going into all that, how the diet works, how you should do, what you should take. At least that one just tells you, right? We have the best products. I'm going to be, actually, I'm now 62 and a half years, but as you see me here, I can do what a 25-year-old woman can't do. That one who is not in your life. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about those people outside this room. Because I have learned how to eat properly. I have learned how to eat by spacing the time I have to eat. And I have known how to eat the right food that is from nature. This is, I didn't introduce her. She's my newest downline. She's a daughter of my cousin. She stays with me, at least during the day. She knows what I eat. She's new. She didn't know how to eat. She's learning how to eat because she's near me. Some people ask me, Lydia, we have never seen you eat lunch. How do you survive? Because they expect me to go there in the restaurant. We have an eating place around my place where they cook matoke, kaunga. Yes, they have granas, fish, chicken, and mayuni, and so they want me to fill up that plate with the mereyona. You know, in Uganda, we say a mereyona. Not knowing that mereyona will kill you before your time. I have asked God to give me 120 years. How can I live all that long if I fill my stomach to the brim and I fill it with rubbish? It can't happen. I have to regulate what I eat and eat quality, not mereyona. Not mereyona is nutritious. And that mereyona has been on the fire since 7 o'clock up to 1 o'clock. So you have to change your diet and the way you eat. Okay? We are still on how we can be rich. Are you a person who is inferior when you are talking to people? He told you about personal growth. How are you growing? For me, I told you my first time was when I came to Kampala was when I came from Rukunjiri. I went to Crested Towers. I hadn't come to Kampala and I didn't ask anybody how Kampala looks like. I went to Crested Towers. I asked whether I can see the undersecretary of Ministry of Education, because I knew that's where my results were. Because by then I had missed 1 year of my education when I was called to go and study in Bunyoro, Bukumi, Kabarega. And I missed a year because my call came a month after. And when I read on it that they were allowing me only 2 weeks to be late. So this time I didn't want to fail to go to school because I didn't have a call. So I asked my mother, I want money to go to Kampala, and I look at my results so that by the time other people get to know me, I have already known where I have to go to school. By then it was Bweranyanji Secondary School from the western part of Uganda that was the best school by then. When I looked at my results, immediately I knew I was going to Bweranyanji, and that's where I went. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I traveled from Rukunjiri. These buildings were not there. I had to walk from the bus to Crested Towers, climb. I didn't ask these people so that they can stop me. I found a secretary. I asked her, I want to see the undersecretary. I went in. I found in front of him there was this big book, which you see when they are reading results. I told him my number. He checked and gave me my results. I went back home to prepare for my studies. Okay? So that is part of personal growth. Are you a person who is scared to talk to people? Our business is a people business. So don't be scared to talk to people. Talk to everyone. When I started the business, actually, I looked like a mad person. You know, sometimes when you don't change from ordinary to extraordinary, you may not achieve what you want. I worked so hard day and night. I wouldn't sleep in my house. If I could get those documents back, they were zeros everywhere. Because I wanted to know who comes to my organization, and I would put their names all the time to see how I'm progressing. Because if you can't know how you are progressing, then how are you moving forward? You stay in one place. So know what you want. That's why in the first month, I earned the money that some people, I don't know how much you earn, but if I asked you how much you earn, there are a few people who would tell you they are earning 400,000 and they have been in the business for 2 years. That 400,000, I earned it in 1 month. The first month. Me, I didn't start with 50,000, 80,000, no. So what do you think? If you are still a distributor, you've been in the business for a year. Actually, this is not your business. Don't waste your time and don't waste other people's time, because training takes time. I'm telling you the truth. You'd rather have one person who knows what she wants, other than having 100 people who don't know where they are going. When I earned that money, I had never earned it on my job. I remember by the time I resigned, I was getting 6,000 Uganda shillings. But that was a lot also, but I knew that money wouldn't take me to where I wanted. Actually, I will tell you this, I have never talked to people about it. But I resigned one time, my mother-in-law came to visit me. My husband had gone abroad for studies. I had a little baby of, I think he was 5 months. My mother-in-law had come from Rukunjiri to see me. She brought her transport, 6,000 Uganda shillings. She said, my daughter, keep this. I know you don't have much money. When it is time for me to go back, I don't want to bother you. I have brought my own transport. I said, God, you are great, because if this lady didn't give me this money, I had nothing to buy food for her. I started using it for food. She didn't know she was eating her transport. I couldn't disclose it. So what happened when it was time for her to go home, she asked me, I hope you have transport because I can see you struggle, but we are eating. I said, don't worry, I had hope. That's one thing I wanted to tell you that takes to build. You should have hope. If you lose hope, you become hopeless. And a hopeless person can't do much for him or herself. That's why some people actually commit suicide, because they see the whole life of theirs in a box. So have hope. I asked God, he helped me. I lied. I am a Christian. I got saved early enough in my secondary school. So I didn't want to lie, but the situation made me lie. I told my boss to sign me a document that I had traveled from Entebbe to Kampala on an official duty. He gave me 8 days. I went to accounts and I told them to make a voucher for me. For that money, actually it was 8,000, they did it. I became happy. I gave my mother-in-law money to take her back and some money to eat on the way. But then deep down in my heart, I knew I had committed a sin. But I hope God understood. That's why I'm where I am. He understood my needs. Okay? Now, again, actually, that is the cause of my resignation, because I didn't want to live such a life. It was bad life. And if you cannot, that is what is happening today in some institutions. You have had some people going to Ruzira for that, for eating money they didn't work for. I didn't want such a life. Okay? Another thing, you need faith. If you can't have faith, you can't start our business. You can't use our products. It takes faith to be rich, because you see beyond what you see near you. I had faith. How big was my faith? Before Neolife came, I would, all these roads, I would walk on foot to see which buildings, to see which empty plots which I would buy. I remember I came across a plot. It is where women in business. They have their offices there. That plot was 50 decimals and it had that building there. They told me they want 160 million. That's how I got to know how I have to work hard in order to be rich. Because if I had that money that time, I would have bought it and I would be a bigger billionaire than I am today. But that was not my time. This is where I tell you it needs time for you to prepare, for you to see, for you to exercise, for you to do what you have to do in order to get what you want. I was renting a room like this one on Kampala Road. It became so hectic that rent was high and they were keeping on increasing it. I couldn't afford. I had to go on down there on William Street. Things refused. My landlord, at the 15th day, when I was supposed to pay her at the first day, she brought a padlock and closed my place. That's when I knew I was in hot soup and I didn't have money. So I had to go back and borrow when I was actually doing business. So what type of business was that? I was in printing. Okay, so thank God for New Life, who changed my life to what I am. I always wanted a plot in the city. It takes a big dream, let me tell you people, don't dream of getting money for kawunga, for vijanjaro, for whatever small things. Dream big. Why not own such a building? You can own it. People who own these buildings were born naked like you. They cried after they came out of their mother's wombs. It's not bad to be born poor, but it's very bad and dangerous to die poor. Because you are the one to change that situation. If you can't change your situation now, that means you are taking it through generations. You were born, you are renting now, your parents rented, your grandparents rented, your great-grandparents rented. So when will that system change? It's you to change it. Someone was saying, my grandparents had a grass-thatched house. My father got a mawat house. How can I get a mawat house like my father? He got a tiled house, Kajansi house. Okay, so for me, when we built a Kajan's house in the village, when I joined New Life, I said I don't want to build a low-lying house, even if it is a Kajan's house. I have to get a plot in the city. I get kalinas or storage houses, and I roof it with metals, with round iron sheets, because they are, when you put tiles, they are heavy. My building, which I got, my plot, which I got only 2 years in the business, I will always testify. You people, I bought a plot in Kampala, Chibuga. My area is not Chadondo, it's not Usiro, it's not Maokota. My plot is in Chibuga Central Division. You understand that? I'm not bragging because I want you to take me as a big woman. I'm a small woman, short and whatever it is. But my mind is big. That's what I want you ladies. Don't think like men can do much more things that we can't do. No. You can do much more because I know women are patient, women are loving, women think big, and women look far. Those who have husbands, I'm not putting husbands down, but for them, when you bring a plan on the table, they will tell you, let me think about it. That's why I bought that plot when my husband didn't know. And he felt bad because I didn't tell him before. Why didn't I tell him? I knew by the time I tell him, he will start saying, no, that place is bad. It is a wetland. It's a place which is difficult to build. Me, as soon as I looked at that plot, I knew that was my building. When I looked at a plot, already I had a building I had put on the manila paper. Okay? Actually, when I made that plan, when they saw it, they thought I had wasted space because I wanted the plan to go through. So I had built this part, and I had left a very big chunk in the middle. So when they said that, immediately I went and changed the plan. And I made it the way it is today, where I can another income apart from your life. So women, we can do much more. There is a lot that you can do to make you rich, but the first thing, plan. And you can't plan without the right mindset. You can't plan without the positive attitude. Okay? So where do you see yourselves 10 years from now? I planned 5 years from now. I want to have 5 billion on my account, which I don't touch to do any business. It is there to look after me. Remember, I have asked God to give me 120 years. So I can't just live on a peanut. 100 million. 100 million, I spend it now in like in 2 months. I get that money which I never used to dream of. When I look at my income, including new life money. Okay? It's not enough because I have to help other people. I have to help my relatives. Some of my workers, I have several workers working in different places. Some of them can't afford to take their children to university. I pay for them. They give me a service. I pay them through paying school fees for their children because I know that's what they need most. They have hope in their children. Okay? I help people, my workers, when they are sick. I give them money to take them to hospital, and I have several because some of them don't know yet how to eat properly because they don't have money to help them eat properly. Some of them I give them free products, training, because everybody needs training. So if I don't work hard to get that money, then I become useless to the society, to the community, because that is part of life. Okay? So think big, beyond yourself, beyond your family, beyond the community to the whole world. I have some girls who call me money. I didn't know them. The church I go to, they have what they call church girl, whom they are trying to bring up as a useful woman. Those, they told me, they invited me to go and address them. Some of the girls became like my daughters. They have the wish to go out of the country. They can't afford to do that. So I feel if I'm getting that much money, I can give them a ticket to go out and look at the outside world. How many of you have traveled beyond Uganda? Put up your hands. Right. The first time I went outside Uganda, I looked at the world in a different perspective. You look at our dirty Uganda with a lot of dust, with dirty people, with everything upside down. That's when I learned that I need more of going to such countries. Actually, I was with my husband and we used to shed tears because we would look at our people in that small locality, not knowing what to do. This is what we are telling you what to do, because we have gone outside Uganda. We know what happens there, we know what is there, and we can have it here. I will tell you one thing. Uganda is the best country if we could develop it. We have the best weather, we have the best food, we have the best soils, we have everything best. We depend on our climate. There are countries which can't depend on their climate. 7 months out of 12, they are in the winter, they can't plant anything. The first time I went to temperate countries, I looked at the trees with no leaves. I thought they were firewood. I would look at firewood everywhere until I asked, why do these people, why do they have firewood everywhere? The lady laughed at me because I didn't know. When they tell you about temperate countries, you can't even imagine what they are, how they look like. So Neolife helped me and others to look at that and then reason why. Some people don't like winter, but winter is a very good climate. It prepares the plants to bring those good buds that grow up into leaves, grow up into flowers. And when winter is ending, you get fall. You see different colors of leaves, and it is a beautiful thing. But all that can't equate to Uganda, where we are outside all the time, enjoying our lives, but it's very unfortunate to say we are in the third world countries. Why? It's because of us, our attitude, our laziness. Can we be extra active? Let us start from Neolife. If you don't have a house, you don't have a car, you don't have, your children are going to poor schools, why are you sleeping 8 hours? And we can never push what we want in you. I just have told you about how he sends messages, and some people say he's making them tired. Tired of what? Do you have that information? If they called you to explain what that information means, would you explain it? Don't be information fatigue. We are not yet there. I attend each and every Zoom meeting if I fail, that means I have been in a fix where I wasn't able. I have to make sure that there is data on my phone. I have Wi-Fi in my home, but most of the time I'm not at home when it is time for the Zoom meetings. So I make sure there is data. So let me ask you, if you don't have data on your phone, do you sit comfortably and sleep comfortably when you can't even afford data? Today is an era of social media. Some of us are learning, just learning. We are not like you people. For us, we were born in BBC, born before computers.